So I did put my thoughts on the Matrix Resurrections into a review. And 99% of people who watched it agreed with me. But there is this 1%, and you see them across social media, on Twitter and other platforms, who disagree, who are like, no, this is a really, really good film. It's a very strong film. And I just want to understand because to me this film is objectively bad, okay? It's not about wokeness or anything. It's just in terms of cinematography, in terms of choreography, in terms of acting, in terms of writing, in terms of characters, every aspect of this movie falls flat. So I want to understand, what do people like about it? What makes people like this film? So I thought it's a good idea. We go to IMDb and read the 10 out of 10 reviews and maybe some of the 9 out of 10 reviews. People who really loved the film and just check the points that they're making, okay? And maybe there's some validity to it, right? Maybe it is a great film and we all just don't get it. We don't understand the depth of it. So that's what I'm going to do. And before we do that, I want to point out my favorite comment under the video that I did, which was the comment by Rain Man, who said, got a 7.7 on IMDb. Your opinion is invalid. Let's go to IMDb. And to be honest, when I recorded it yesterday, when I recorded my review, the score on IMDb was sitting at 6.4, okay? Earlier, about an hour ago, it was still 6.1. Now we're at 6.0. So the direction is pretty clear. And I'm also curious to what extent Warner is maybe paying people, right, to write positive reviews. We all know this exists, and obviously we can't prove it, can't prove that a review has been paid for. But I think by the tone of some of these reviews, we might be able to do a bit of detective work and investigate which reviews may be real and which not. All right, let's take a look. So we have 4,700 votes that give 10 out of 10 for the Mtrix Resurrections. That's incredible to me. Let's jump right into it. So unique particle, and be aware again, there are spoilers in this, okay? Some people are going to spoil some details of the movie in their review, so if you don't want to hear any spoilers and you still want to watch the film by yourselves without being spoiled, then just leave now, okay? That's the final warning. I'm not going to say this again. So, unique particle says, White Rabbit was perfect to hear in this, and I don't understand, this was everything I would have wanted. Yes, White Rabbit was in this film, and it's like, it was cringy. But anyway, Unique Particle says, I absolutely loved, especially in IMAX, worth the wait. I would not have wanted to see streaming on HBO, that would have been not as good, full stops. A few full stops missing there. I convinced my mom to see all 3 originals to see this, and she loved it too. We both think it's a 10. Both of us, not just me. My mom and me, we both think it's a 10. An exhilarating, fun popcorn film with loads of epicness, beautiful cinematography, my favorite aspects, symbolism, metaphors, and humor. The Matrix 1 is among one of my favorites, and to me, this is one of the best sequels by Lana Wachowski. She did perfect with her visionary style. That is mind-blowing mastery. Okay. I love how he or she snuck in the name of the director there in the end. It's like, it seems that a lot of people who are defending this film mainly defend it in order to show solidarity with Lana Wachowski. Okay, and honestly, man, for me, this is not about wokeness. I kind of briefly touched on it in the beginning. I don't care who made this movie, okay? It could literally be somebody who never made a movie before. If it's a good movie, I will enjoy it. If it's a crap movie, then I will say that it's crap. So I think it's ridiculous to make it about gender or wokeness. In general, that goes both ways. You know, if you just say the movie is terrible because of the director, or you say the movie is great because I have to support this director, both is equally ridiculous, okay? It's either a good movie or not a good movie. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with gender or orientations of the director to me. But this seems to be a comment of someone who says, well, I think the director did a good job, and here's her name. Let me also put her name. I can't prove that these kind of comments are bought, but it doesn't sound very genuine to me. Also, it's like, oh, my mom also loved it, and it's okay. Anyway, 10 out of 10. After 22 years of The Matrix, from Gabith Dinosaur, this was absolutely awesome. Seeing Keanu Reeves look so good being in The Matrix again, and flashbacks from 1999 and other years just bring memories of seeing the first movie on VHS 22 years ago. I say this one made a remarkable comeback. Back to The Matrix. I noticed that already 2 of those comments, they don't actually make any point about the film. They're not like, wow, did you see that scene? That was such a great scene. Or the way this shot was choreographed was just brilliant. They're just like, Keanu Reeves returning to the Matrix, good. And it's like, okay, so what did you like about the film? Keanu Reeves in the Matrix, good. Okay, all right. 10 out of 10. by Soul Snatcher. Excellent for the fanatics. If you're a fan of the franchise, this is an absolute treat. If you watch this part randomly, you'd make nonsensical comments, as most of the reviews here say. The action, the plot, the visual effects were stunning. Although, it did feel like a long movie, but it had to be fit all the plot in articulately. All the characters really played the part well. Bugs was a standout character. What an addition. Who's Bugs? Who's Bugs, honestly? Let me Google that. Oh, okay, blue hair lady. Okay, what an addition. What a great addition she was. Without her, this movie would have just been terrible. But Bugs was such a great addition. The background score wasn't as impactful as previous movies, though, in my opinion. Okay, yeah, I think the background score really, like, that's the one weak point you want to mention about this film, okay? Hopefully there's a part 5 soon. We're all hoping. 10 out of 10. Great addition by Koyi. I enjoyed it fully through. I'm goat with the story arc they decided to go with. It added more storytelling along with deeper meanings. The people bombing on this film just can't handle what comes with being free and only enjoy the thought of being free. What? It takes action to be free, and that thought scares the sheeple as they fear freedom and love their slavery, as mentioned in this film. What? This has nothing to do. This whole review has nothing to do with the movie. And that's what I mean, right? Like, people seem to support this film because others hate the film. And I also hate the people who hate this film. So I'm gonna love this film just because of those guys who hate the film. It's just like, what? But no, it's not about that. Is it a good film or is it not a good film? Like, that's all that matters, really. 10 out of 10. Supernatural with a number code says absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed, and once again, Keanu Reeves delivers. The story was fantastic and very clever. I hope they do another one, because it could still do so much more. Okay, yes. And you see what I mean? These kinds of reviews, right? They literally say nothing about the film. It's just like, once again, Keanu Reeves delivers. On what? Like, what exactly did you like? What was he good at? Like, the acting? Like, his character development? Like, what exactly? This feels like a review to me that is, like, clearly one of their friends or someone who works for Warner. Maybe there was an email going around. Of course, it's just me speculating, right? But emails going around at Warner where people are like, listen, reviews are coming in. They're not exactly great. So just kind of preemptively, can everyone just please go to IMDb, create an account, and just write, like, a little review saying that Keanu really delivered, and 10 out of 10 maybe, guys. And that's how you get reviews like this. Obviously, I don't know. Okay, this is just me wildly speculating here, but I feel if you would want to defend this film and you want to say positive things about it, then you might want to make a point, right? You might want to say the way Keanu revived the character and brought him to another level in that and that scene, that was really good. The way he delivered that dialogue or that scene with Trinity in the cafe or whatever it is, you would want to go into a little bit more depth of saying why you enjoyed it. These kinds of reviews, they say nothing, okay, except that they don't just give 10 out of 10 to boost the score up. It's a bit dodgy, to be honest. Zen Master Me, 10 out of 10, says best Matrix by far. I don't know. Maybe it's a really clever pun, okay, and that guy gets it big time, or he just doesn't know how to write by. Matrix 4 Resurrections far, far exceeded all my expectations. Since 1999, I have watched the first 3 Matrix movies well over 100 times. With that said, I tip my hat to every single person that made this production come to fruition. Okay? Again, it's like, why is it the best movie by far? What exactly made it great? And I just can't imagine that someone who watched the original Matrix movies over 100 times would see this film and say, well, it far, far exceeded all my expectations, right? It just makes no sense. And I do notice as well that a lot of these reviews are very short, okay? There were some longer ones where people literally write whole books and kind of dissertations about the film, and that's all fair enough. I wouldn't doubt the authenticity of those reviews. But a lot of them are just like, Keanu, good. I like original. This good. It's like, okay, it's all right. Amazing movie, says new tech and special effects are insane. 10 out of 10. For the people writing poor reviews, you're nuts and just try to make everything negative. This movie was awesome. From 30 minutes in, you're on the edge of your seat for the rest of the movie. Love the twists and ending. In my opinion, it's the best of the entire franchise. Must see! Exclamation mark. and again, it's like, love the twists and the ending. What twist? Like, literally, what twist? Was there a twist that I missed in the film that I just can't recall now? Because it's also forgettable. And the ending, I mean, okay, I can see that some people may like the ending, right? Again, spoiler, but you know that now Trinity kind of is the one, or that the one is Trinity and Neo. And okay, I can kind of live with that. It's not the worst. A lot of people get upset about it because now you have a one that is female or whatever. Again, it's a whole woke ass, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't offend me that much, okay? But to say from 30 minutes in, you're on the edge of your seat, it's like, maybe you watched a different film. Are you sure we watched the same movie? Because that doesn't sound like the one I watched. Movie reviewer number 1 says Mtrix 4, smiley face, 10 out of 10. This is great. It's well made and it continues the plot well. If I say anything, it gets spoilery, but I mean, I haven't ever watched anything that breaks the fourth wall this well. So thanks to everyone who made this. Oh, I didn't like the ending a lot. Last 5-ish minutes of it, but that's okay. All right. Okay, you know, if someone says something like that, at least there seems to be some genuine consideration in that, where he says, I enjoyed the film, but the last 5 minutes sucked, all right? That's not a bought review, most probably, right? Because you wouldn't be that specific and you wouldn't be negative. So I guess despite spelling mistakes, and there are loads of spelling mistakes and errors in punctuation in all those 10 out of 10 reviews. I don't know what that says about people reviewing this movie with 10 out of 10. Another good movie being down-brigaded by the woke left. This movie was epic, says Joey Gassard, with another 10 out of 10 review. If you liked the first Matrix, you will love this new one. For some reason, it's being downvoted by people who haven't even watched it. Which seems pretty common in 2021, to be honest. I wish people would actually watch the movie before just rating it with a 1 star, because it dared to think independently and included controversial ideas that the woke left didn't agree with. 10 out of 10. So again, it's like a protest vote, right? It's like, those guys don't like it, so I'm gonna give 10 out of 10. They probably didn't even watch it. It was epic. What are these people thinking, man? Leroy Hansen says maybe the best in the series. 10 out of 10. This fourth movie may be the best in the series. It's amazing how they succeeded in bringing back the same sentiment, the same atmosphere, and so many of the same people after so many years. He didn't watch the film, did he? He didn't watch the film. Neo and Trinity are amongst the best movie couples ever. The story has elevated this movie and the action is, as always, the best of the best. This is a board review. Come on, man. You can't tell me that someone genuinely says that after watching the movie, right? Neo and Trinity are the best movie couples ever. Okay, you know, that's an opinion. I can see where you're coming from. I may disagree slightly with that personally, but anyway. But to say they're bringing back the same sentiment and the same atmosphere, it's a completely different atmosphere. It has nothing to do with the atmosphere of the original movies. I think that's one of the main complaints of so many people. It's like a different franchise, right? It has nothing to do with the original films in terms of the tone and direction. So I don't know what to make of this review. It just doesn't make any sense. The perfect reboot sequel, says CL Jessica Wild. I'd give this an 11 out of 10. If it went that high. Grew up with the originals, wore out the 10-disc Ultimate Collection, went into this blind and was completely blown away. Decades of god-awful reboots, sequels, and terrible cash grabs, this was such a refreshing update. Everything. It's just, you can't even read this seriously. It is... These people... What? I mean, leave out in the comments what you think. Do you think actually these people have seen the film and they write their genuine opinion? Or do you think these people are paid? Or do you think these people are giving these reviews for political reasons? I don't know what to make of it, honestly. I mean, especially she says, like, so many bad reboots in the previous years, but this one was just... I mean, honestly, it was the worst from all of them, I would argue. But okay, well, let's keep reading. Everything felt so new, yet so familiar. You completely feel like Neo, confused and dazed in the beginning, and then everything is so brilliant and expertly revealed and expanded. On the edge of my seat and completely absorbed from the start to finish. Best movie I've seen in probably 10 plus years. Really hope they continue the story. Worth the approximately 20-year wait. Okay, so there's a few things in here that again make me like suspicious. I don't doubt that some people really enjoyed the film. That's fair enough, you know, but to say I'll give 11 out of 10 if I could. The best movie I've seen in probably 10 plus years. Was it also the only movie you've seen in 10 plus years? Because otherwise it just makes no sense. Even you would enjoy this film for what it is. It surely wouldn't be the best film you've seen in 10 years. Okay, so these superlatives that people put in these reviews leave me in doubt, to say the least. And let's read one more. Okay. Prakeshesu, 10 out of 10, says, why so much hate for this? Weird COVID effect, I guess. Why do people hate this film? Must be COVID, right? That's the only explanation I can come up with. This movie is well made. It met my expectation, taking into consideration Keanu is getting old and he nailed it. It's a Matrix for today's world, and if you are against upgrade, that's why so much negative reviews. That's literally what it says. Weird how they claim fans of the movie when served a different version they start complaining. I love this movie, well made and is entertaining. Still can't digest these negative reviews. Am I in a different world or what? Yes, maybe you are. Maybe you are in a different world. And I mean, let's be honest, there are so many of those reviews. Like we said in the beginning, thousands of them, of people giving 10 out of 10. Of course, there are also thousands of them that give much worse ratings and that are much more genuine and honest, I feel like, towards the movie, which ends up bringing the score to a 6. I said it in the beginning, but to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if in the next weeks we see that score falling lower and lower. Simply because Warner and the director and everyone basically did what they can to activate everyone they know to leave a positive review. Where does it sit on Rotten Tomatoes? Let me check that out really quick. So it could be worse. It currently sits at 67% for audience score and the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes. And I guess to an extent that is in line with the IMDB rating being at 6. So that's where it sits right now with the audiences on those review platforms. But I just thought it might be fun to look at some of those reviews and read them to you guys and speculate whether they may be real. Or speculate about the reasons why people would like this movie, because to me, like I said in the beginning, it's just objectively bad. It has nothing to do with political reasons or who directed it or wokeness or left versus right or whatever. It's just a film. And when you watch it objectively, it's just a bad film by nearly any measure that you want to put onto it. It just doesn't hold up. Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget, as always, to smash the like button. It's right down there. And while you're down there, you might as well also subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate to see you in another video. Maybe check the channel. There's a lot of content on there that you might enjoy as well. So maybe give it a go. Until the next one, take care of yourselves and I'm out. Bye.